Well, Jack, has it sunk in yet that this is the week you're breaking a very big record?
Yeah, I'd probably say it definitely has now. I've been getting a few messages through the week, but I think having Sam here in person and we got to have her in our side-by-side meeting before. Felt pretty special and probably started sinking a little bit more, yeah.
Just talk us through the week, Sam, as well, with Jack and what you've done.
Well, I had the privilege of coming in and sitting in on Collingwood's team meeting.
Yeah, side-by-side meeting.
Side-by-side meeting today, and it was just beautiful. It had a lot of similarities and reminded me of the sessions at the Reach Foundation that Jim used to run way back when with kids and corporates. And so I'd sort of been briefed a little bit from Fly about how the culture of Collingwood is really important and the side-by-side meetings. And then as soon as I stepped out of the car really and met the team at Collingwood, it's very, very beautiful and special and humbling. And it's just a privilege, I think, to be a part of it, and so great for Jack to be breaking Jim's consecutive game record.
Is it bittersweet for you, Sam?
Yeah, we had a bit of a joke in there because Jim, we were sort of saying he'd be a bit narky about this happening because he was competitive. But having said that, he would be the first to want to take Jack out and have a meal and shout him a beer and congratulate him because knowing how difficult it is to achieve this record and break the record, he would just have so much admiration for Jack doing that. And Jack's done this with a young family, and Jim did it without a young family, and so that even makes it more incredible in this day and age, I think, to do it. And I think it's okay to say, because Jim's no longer with us, but I think it's probably okay to say there might have been a few occasions where Jim maybe played through, where nowadays in the modern game he wouldn't have been allowed to play through. I'm not sure.
Jack, have you learned a bit about Jim's legacy as well in recent weeks as well? You've been able to do that?
Yeah, definitely more so in the last probably couple of weeks. Now it was kind of around the time that equaling last week and then beating it this week. But I don't know, just the legacy that he left, I guess, as a player, but then what he did in the community. I'm just very humbled and grateful to have my name up against his in the history books. Something that I'm definitely not taking for granted. Especially as a little kid, all I wanted to do was play one AFL game, and then to be able to put 10 to 11 years together in a row. I'm very proud, obviously, but more so that I'm up against Jim as well.
When did it become real, the prospect of doing this? When did it first enter your mind?
It would have been probably nearly a couple of years ago now. Like, obviously, I was always kind of proud of what I've been able to do, but they got to the point where some names started coming onto the list, I guess, and then there was a lot of boys around the football club that kept kind of asking me about it, and media outlets as well would keep asking me how I kind of string the games together. So I probably put that little target quietly in my head, but then over the last couple of years, it became a probably real goal, something that I'm finally, I guess, achieving. But it was just, I don't know, it's just exciting.
I think there's more than 900 players who've made their debut since you've had this streak.
900?
Yeah. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, old.
No, come on.
No, the Fly put up, I think our new draftees, Westy, Joel and Will, were 8 years old when I first started it. So even that, and I saw the AFL kind of article that they did with a few other stats. It's pretty crazy, considering even the AFL, the career span is not very long. So to be able to do what I've been doing for a number of years now, it's pretty cool, and hopefully I can keep doing it for as long as I can.
Have any close calls to missing a game, or has it all been pretty good so far?
No, not necessarily. I've had sore hips, back, feet. I think I said it a couple of weeks ago, but I ended up having like a stress fracture in my lower back into 2018, and then I got my hip cleaned out, so I didn't run for like 3 months. And I know the club was a bit cautious after that because Jamie Elliott had just missed the whole year with the back. So it was lucky the timing was kind of end of season. But I get managed pretty well, I guess, different times of the year when I needed to. But and all the work that I do in terms of rehab and preparation for training and games, I put a lot of time into my body now to make sure none of those niggles are going to progress any further and cause big injuries.
How important have the girls and the women behind you been to helping you get to this point?
Yeah, they've probably been the biggest part, the kids and Mickey, being able to mentally switch off from football. I remember, especially when Lila was a baby, like if I had a bad game or we'd lost or I was trying to be angry, but as soon as I'd walk out of the rooms, I'd see Mickey and Lila and I'd just start smiling straight away, even though I wanted to be angry, just so I could kind of like use that as fuel. But they've just to be able to physically and mentally switch off has been awesome.
Aside from having them, what else is the secret?
What's that, sorry?
Aside from having the girls and Michaela, what else is the secret?
Yeah, I'd say obviously sleep is very important, and Mickey's a good job of giving me a night before a game, some really good sleep and main trainings. She'll probably do the majority of the work with the kids if they get up. But then I love hands-on therapy as well, so physios, osteos, masseuse, just anything you kind of do outside the football club because we are limited with time here. But yeah, I'm a big advocate for all that.
How many boys ask you? You said before that a few of the boys have asked you, but how many do you get messages from blokes at other clubs or internally? How many ask? What do you do to?
Yeah, it's mainly the Dacos boys that kind of ask me what's going on. Am I going to miss a game? Probably have a rest this week. But no, there's a few jokes here and there. A couple of coaches as well have been saying it. Even Fly said it last week. But it's just good to see. I think everyone's kind of heavily invested in it with me and along the ride, and to have the club that we do, my family, and kind of everyone that obviously has been following the story. I guess it's pretty cool and humbling.
How many tickets have you given away for Saturday?
No, not too many, which is good. I got my family on the table at the President's function, so I think Ned sorted them out, which is good. And then just Mickey's family, a few of them, and I told my mates to buy some tickets.
How long can you keep going?
Well, as long as the club keeps giving me a contract, I reckon I can keep going for a while. I feel really good physically. We've got a couple more years left, I think, and then we'll see what happens after that.